Welcome back to Cooking with Cass. Today we're going to be making some halal Greek style lamb meatballs. We'll start by combining 1 egg with 2 tablespoons of yogurt and 1/4 cup of panko. We'll whisk that up with a fork, cover, and set that aside for now. Next, we'll shred half of a yellow onion on a box grater, season with salt and pepper to taste, or about half a teaspoon each, an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne, half a teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 medium cloves of garlic crushed. Add in our egg and panko paste, and whisk until fully combined. Next, we'll add in some of Midamar's new halal ground lamb available at the link in the description. We'll mash that together until we have one homogeneous meatball mixture. I took that away and had my battle buddy bring in a pan with aluminum foil on it, then he sprayed that with some non-stick spray. Now comes the longest part of the whole recipe, the meatball rolling. This is pretty simple. Grab about 2 tablespoons or so of our meatball mix and roll that around in your palms until you have a nice spherical shape. Once those are nice and rotund, we'll toss them in the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes or until the meatballs reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees in the center. In the meantime, we'll start prepping some tzatziki. We'll start by chopping off both ends of a small cucumber, then slicing into thin layers. We'll take each layer and cut them into 3 or 4 long strips, then we'll flip them and chop them into nice diced pieces. We'll set that aside and move over to the yolk of the gurt variety. First, we'll place 2 cups of Greek yogurt in a mixing bowl. Add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, salt and pepper to taste, or about half a teaspoon each. To make this a little easier, we'll whisk up our yogurt quick, then we'll add in 3 medium cloves of garlic, our chopped cukes, the dill, and then we'll fold all those ingredients together until it's looking good and condimenty. Make sure to give it a taste and add more to your taste. Then I covered and refrigerated that for a bit. Now we'll prep some veggies by slicing up a couple of Roma tomatoes. Chop off both ends, making sure to launch one into the farthest reaches of space, then we'll finish it by making nice thin slices and repeat that with both tomatoes. Throw those in a mixing bowl for now, then we'll move over to a rinsed head of lettuce. Chop off the root end, then chop into about 1.5 to 2 inch sections. Toss that in with the tomatoes and that's it. Serve it up on some pita or with some rice and enjoy. These lamb meatballs were awesome. The flavor of the lamb combined with the homemade tzatziki and the fresh vegetables made for a hearty sandwich. I hope you enjoyed this meal and we'll see you next time with another tasty halal recipe.